Something extremely amazing has been happening in America over these recent times that we've been experiencing. Something that hasn't happened for, at the very least, the past couple of decades. And it's starting to pick up, and more people are becoming aware of it. And I wanted to discuss it because this is something that I believe will eventually be a major, and I mean it already is a major contributor to the direction that this country goes. And I believe that it will redefine work and labor, those two specific definitions. So what I want to focus on in this video specifically is the coal miner strike by the coal miners in Brookwood, Alabama. Now, they have extended their strike to New York, as I will get into with this article, to protest in front of BlackRock, which is a major shareholder of the industry that they are employed by. I think they own about 14% of stock. And so what's happening is all across the nation, we're seeing workers in groups rise up to fight, tooth and nail, to claw their way for better working conditions, for higher pay, for better treatment, and all sorts of things that they are very much deserving of. So let's get into this coal miners strike in Alabama. Well, first of all, I just want to detail. So we have the coal miners in Alabama. We have the Amazon workers, right, in Alabama and also in other places across the country as well. We have the teachers' assistants across the state of California. We have teachers' unions are making moves. We also have the Nabisco workers that are fed up, and many others, many others. But this is an article from ABC News. Coal miners in Alabama, I won't read the whole thing. Coal miners in Alabama have been striking for months, and they aren't backing down, battling not just for their rights as workers, but for what some believe to be the rights of working people across the country. Over 1,000 employees of Warrior Met Coal have been on strike since April, refusing to work at the metallurgical coal mine in Brookwood, Alabama, until their contract is renegotiated to provide fairer wages and health and time off benefits. The strike, the first in 4 decades, has fiercely divided the small community. While some picket, others are still going into work. While the miners hold the picket line, Hayden Wright has been working with other miners' spouses to help support the so-called strike family. She's been helping to run the pantry, which is supported through donations and includes everything from clothes to baby hygiene products. So essentially what this article goes on to outline is how, certain portions of the workers have folded. They have stopped striking with their fellow workers, and some, I don't know what portion of them it is, but some have, disaffected, and they've defected, and they went back to go to work because, and they shouldn't be shamed for that. It's shame on the corporation for making them get to that point where they had to break, because there's a cost that comes with striking. When you strike, you don't work. And when you don't work, you don't earn money. You don't earn means of subsistence to upkeep your mind, your body, your muscles, and things of that nature. And so you suffer. And some people just couldn't take it anymore, and they had to go back, right? But as outlined here, they do raise money through donations. And a lot of these workers have taken up other jobs, whether it be mowing lawns or washing cars or, working for different entities or whatever, to keep themselves above water, to make sure that food can stay on their tables for them as well as their families. But the article goes on to outline that the conditions the miners are striking against stem all the way from 2016, when Warrior Met Coal took ownership over the mine after its previous operator went bankrupt. During that transition, the miners saw drastic cutbacks in hourly wages. Listen to this: holidays, paid time off, and medical coverage. You see, something I always say is that there's an assault on labor in this country. There's assault on the working people on this country. They are being severely attacked. This is what I'm referring to. Taking away wages, holidays, paid time off, and medical coverage. They took away medical coverage from these guys, from these coal miners. Absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. They are under severe attack here. And they should do everything in their power, as they're doing, to ensure that these conditions do not persist. But allow me to go on. Both tenured and new employees also lost their pensions. Wow. According to Phil Smith, director of the government affairs for the UMWA. The workers believe those benefits would be restored during the new contract negotiations in 2021. We need to get these people back up to standard, said Larry Spencer, the UMWA representative in the district, adding that the miners were disappointed with the new contract and the people turned it down. The UMWA, I want to point out, if I haven't already said, it stands for the United Mine Workers of America. The article goes on to say issues like these are only a couple of the reasons mining is one of the most dangerous occupations in the country. In 2001, the number 5 mine in the complex exploded, killing 13 people. This is very dangerous stuff what these guys are doing. I mean, they go on to explain it's gassy, there's water everywhere, and a lot of the working areas, you're knee deep in water. It's a very difficult job, and it's hard to breathe. It's very difficult to breathe in these places. The percentage of coal miners with the most severe type of progressive black lung disease has steadily risen over the last 20 years because they've been so harshly neglected. Severe black lung has been found in miners in their 30s and 40s, according to the CDC. Whether it's severe, the disease, when it's severe, the disease can lead to lung impairment, disability, and premature death. And the guys that are dealing with this, they're getting their health care stripped away from them. Paid time off stripped away. Wages stripped away. And they're being forced to deal with this nonsense. And they said that they had enough. The miners who spoke to ABC News, and this is the part that really struck me the most, because you know I'm a healthcare advocate to the max. The miners who spoke to ABC News said that their medical coverage went from, here we go, 100% of medical fees covered before the Warrior Met Coal took over to only 80%. 80%, they cut their health care down. So it was 100% coverage, and then it got cut down to 80%. They also said their time off is severely restricted now. They said that they may be fired for taking too much time off, and even if they have a doctor's recommendation. That's insane. And as pointed out here by Kim Kelly, a lot of these guys are only making like $20-some an hour. Sorry, but that's not enough money for guys to go down in that hellhole and do the kind of job that they're doing, facing the type of repercussions that they have to face with whether it be black lung disease or whatever type of negative ailments they may run into while performing these jobs or this specific job. Now, having not worked in months, many strikers are under tremendous financial strain. The UMWA is paying them $700 every 2 weeks to hold the line. But of course, as this article outlines, that is not enough. And this goes on to say everybody's working on the jobs, as I outlined previously, electrical jobs, plants, cutting grass, I said before, many other things. And I just want to read this because this is amazing to me. Hayden Wright says, "We'll be here one day longer than the company will. I don't think we're giving up. We're already planning a toy drive for Christmas." So that should outline for you how serious this is and how serious these people are taking it. I mean, they're already planning toy drives for Christmas because they plan on still to be striking by Christmas time. They're not giving this up until they get what they want. And kudos and, I mean, everything else to them. This is absolutely courageous. I mean, it's so commendable what these workers have banded together to do. Now, I also want to point out only 11% of workers in this country are represented by a union. 40 years prior to today, it was double that. Only double, I might add you. And 40 years ago, many people in this country were in a much better financial and social situation than they currently are now because of the assault that there has been on labor and on the working families of this nation. Now, I wanted to speak about this because I feel like these issues are incredibly relevant And I don't think they get talked about enough when workers do these types of things. And when workers do this, they should be supported to the max. And the thing that I love about this is that these are people, like I'll tell you up and out front, I mean, if you've watched previous videos of mine, you most likely know that I am somebody who has the ideology, the political opinions of someone that is associated with the left, with the quote unquote progressive, whatever you want to label it as, you know, whatever. But when it comes to these workers, when they strike, when they go do protests or whatever, now unions and strikes and labor protests and general strikes are things that people on the left should nominally, at the very least, support. I know I do, very honestly and truly. But these workers specifically, they don't have to be, and some of them aren't, aligned with the quote unquote left or any particular political party in general. They're just people that are fighting for what they deserve, right? And they're people fighting for the remunerations that they should receive for doing a specific job. That's what they're doing. And I mean, I can't help but respect that, and hopefully you as well. But these are issues that, you know, mainstream media really aren't going to touch too much on, because these are the issues that they want to stray you away from. You know, working people fighting for better working conditions. I really commend these people for what they're doing, and I hope that they receive the benefits and the higher pay and the paid time off that they truly so deserve, because we need to put pressure on these big corporations. You know, Walmart, Target, all the big names, Amazon, all of them, because these are the people that run what happens in this country. You know, we can talk shit to politicians all day and rag on them all day. At the end of the day, they're just figureheads doing the bidding of Walmart, Amazon, etc. The military industrial complex, big pharma, the health insurance industries and stuff. They're just doing the bidding of those entities. Those specific entities are actually what make the decisions, and it's always, the decisions that they make are always detrimental to the mass of the population, especially the people that work for them. And that needs to change, and I truly believe that it will.